Hello guys, as promised, today I'll be showing you again how to make the cube from AdventureWorks. Alright, so I'm gonna start from scratch again. Okay, so first I'm gonna go to remote desktop and connect to the cluster. Of course, if you're doing it from a remote computer, then make sure you connect to the Northwestern VPN. You should know how to do it by Googling, right? So now I'm inside of the farm server. Just for demonstration purposes, I'll be using the cube instructions over here. All right, so it's basically the same thing as your handout, but it's just simpler. Okay, so the tables are customer, date, geography, product category. So without further ado, let's start our project. So this one was the one I built from before. And now I'm gonna open a new one, right? New project. And then in here, actually in here, I'll be choosing analysis services and multidimensional and data mining project. Okay, in here, the name will be whatever, like the default name is gonna be your database's name on analysis services. So I will name it as view example, new example cube, something like that. Okay. And I click OK, and then it says current solution will be closed. Fine. Okay, so here we are. We're at new example cube. So first thing first, we need to add a new data source, which is pre-populated over here. It's connection MSIA SQL AdventureWorks. But even if you don't have it, then you can click on new, and then use connection MSIA SQL. Select the database name of AdventureWorks. Test connection is succeeded, and click OK. That's going to be the first one. All right. So after that, you just click next, and then use the specific Windows username and password. Mine is lab, and then the password is something else. I should. I'll just leave it blank here. All right. The data source name, we don't need to change it. Just finish. And there we are. So later on, I'm gonna change the password here to make it working. But now for privacy, I'll just not do it. So next step is building a data source. So build data source is as easy as selecting several tables from your data source. In here, we have the data source AdventureWorks DW 2014. All right, so next. And now I'm gonna need help with this instructions set. I think we need customer, date, geography, product, product category, product subcategory, and fact internet. So of course in your homework it's going to be different. I'm just giving you examples here. All right, so that should be it. Next, finish. We have our first the first view over here. As you can see, the fact table is in the center. The dim customer and dim geography are connected. And the fact, actually, the order date, ship date, and due date are linked to the date table. And then the product ID is going to be linked to product category and product subcategory. So key, subcategory, and category. Something like that. Okay, so now we should go ahead and try to build our first dimension. I'd like to have a let's do it with customer, right? The customer asks to whether or not you want to link the geography. I said okay, let's do it. In here, we want the city, state, and English country region name, right? So it's the same thing as we did before. I'm just going to be building a hierarchy using that. Okay, so now I want the dimension to be customer instead of dim customer. Finish, and now we're on the dimension page. So in our customer dimension, we have city, country, region name, geography key, state, province name. All we have to do here is drag and drop things. All right, English country region name, that's the the most top up level. I can't pronounce. So English country region name is the largest is the top on our hierarchy. And then we should have our state, and then city, and then a customer key. All right, so, and then the hierarchy should be renamed to geography. All right, and then I'm gonna rename this thing to country, this thing to state, and country, state, city, customer key. Okay, so I didn't do anything over here on the attribute relationship, but obviously we can do it. So how can we do it? Actually, first I'm gonna process it to see if there's any errors. This is a way to test if you are on the right track. Just process them one by one. Let me get my password really quick. All right, so Louis password. It's this one. Okay. And now after, oh, there was errors. That's interesting. Why? Because the product could not be deployed to localhost. What we do is we go to the solution and then we look at the deployment. This is not the correct one, this one. So the Leo example cube. All right, so in deployment, it's not actually localhost. It should be connection MSIA SQL. Okay, so now we try to process the cube, not the cube, the dimension, and hopefully everything's fine. Good. So everything's fine over here, and what I'm gonna do next is try to connect those things together. So I'm not sure if I can connect city directly to state, but let me try this. So geography goes to city and then goes to state, and then state directly goes to the country name. All right, this might fail. So it says process failed, trace information is being given back. So here the problem is some city does not belong to doesn't like this Augsburg. I suspect it to have multiple cities in different countries, right? So there might be an Augsburg in two different countries. So that's why this thing gives me errors. So what can I do next? So there are two ways. One is to disconnect city from state and just connect this geography key directly to the states, and that should fix it. So this is the easiest fix. Run, and then that says process succeeded. The other way to fix it is to append a state name to the city, so that the city is unique to each of the states. which is also doable. Let me see how I can actually do it. So in here, we have dim customer over here, okay? And now the city is over here in the geography, okay? So now all I need to do is a new calculated member. So the column name is going to be state city, okay? State plus a space plus city. And then here it's going to be what is the attribute name for state? I don't remember. I'll just click say city here, and then I'll look at the attributes. What is the city, state, province name? So just do something like let me see. I'll edit the name dimension. Let's say this one is gonna be state, province name plus a space and then plus city. All right, so now we have our state city as a new calculated member, and in here we can directly drag and drop the state city over here. So instead of the city, all we need is a state city, right? State city. So then in the attribute, all you have to do is connect the geography key to state city. And then state city connects to state province name, and delete this connection. Okay, I think I deleted the wrong connection. Delete the connection between geography key to state. Right, and then because this doesn't look interesting, I'll just say state over here, and now it should fix it. Right, so now it says process succeeded, and each state should have their own cities. So those are the two ways to fix the hierarchy problem over here. All right, we're gonna do the same thing for time with just a little bit more complex calculated member. That's it. So we finished the customer dimension. Next, we're gonna do the date dimension. We have a date key, year, month, date. So year, calendar year. There's no calendar month, so I'll just do English month name, and then date. So date is just gonna be the date key, right? Or day number of months. That should work as well. Right? So now we have year, month, and day number. All right, so now we should try using those three to build our hierarchy. All right. Yeah, year, month, day. Calendar year. Is there a calendar month? No. Is there a calendar day? No. So this looks like the only thing we can do. And now the dimension is going to be date. Okay, click on finish. And as before, we should have year, month, and month name. And then in the end, we have a date. Right? Just to make sure everything's working now, we just go ahead and build it without specifying the hierarchy. Okay, close, everything seems to be fine. In here, I don't want it to be hierarchy. I'll just say calendar. Okay. So over here, I have the day key directly mapped to calendar year, English month name, and day number of month. What I really want to do is we link the day number of months, and then link the calendar, and then link the months with calendar year. So for the same reason why the city won't connect to state, in here, I would suspect both day number of months wouldn't work for English month name, and English month name wouldn't work for the year. Okay, just let me demonstrate that. So deploying will be successful, however, this will not be correct, because as the English month name is not, the value is August, and the attribute is English month name has duplicate values for two different month names, for two different years, right? So in this case, how can we fix it? So all we need to do is to add a new calculation called calendar month. All right. This one will be month name plus a space and then plus the year. So we have English month name plus a space plus convert car4 and then the year, right? Calendar year. So hopefully this is gonna work. Let me see. All right. Date. In here, we're not going to use the English month name anymore. Instead, we're gonna use the calendar month. I'm gonna delete the. Okay, so now we have the calendar month. All we need to do is add the calendar month over here. All right, now we can rename it to month and then rename it to day. Okay, now let's try process it. It says process failed because the wait. So how come I still have this attribute is not linked? Okay. So now the calendar day of month should be linked to the calendar month, and then calendar month should be linked to calendar year. Oh, I think I have a misspelling there. Let me go ahead and correct that. Calendar month, edit name. And here the spelling is not correct. All right. So now, as you can see, I should actually rename it. Okay, calendar month. Put it here. Okay. Rename it to be month. Rename the year to be year. All right. Now, I just have to say, okay, day connects to month, and month connects to year. Let's process it. And says process failed and traceback information is retrieving. As we can expect, the day number of months is not actually the day number, because for multiple months they can have the same day number. Then what do we do? So in here I'm getting a little lazy. I just want to see what the date key looks like. Therefore, I go into the Microsoft SQL Server analysis, SQL Server Management Studio, and I connect to the database engine, and then just want to look at how what the table looks like. Normally that's the first step, but I'm skipping it. So team date, select top 1,000 rows. And in here, you can see the date key is actually very recognizable. Therefore, I'm just gonna use the date key as a representation to date, to the actual exact calendar date, right? Because I got lazy, right? So date, I don't want you anymore. Date number of months, go away. And now date key has become date. So let's go ahead and connect those together. Say yes. And the process succeeded. Right. So it's just a matter of how you connect those things together, and it doesn't allow like duplicates for each level. So for a specific months, you should have a one-to-one. Like specific months, you should also have specific date that connects to it. If for duplicate months you have the same date key, then something is wrong. It's the same analysis, the same thing goes here. If for multiple year you have the same month, then something is wrong. That's the logic of the analysis services building a cube. So keep that in mind. Okay, so lastly, we're gonna build a dimension for product. Then product next. In here we want subcategory name, category name, and is there a product name? Here, English product name. Okay, next, I want this dimension to be product. Click on finish, and now we have this thing over here. So we can have, I think the top level should be category, right? Subcategory, and then product name, and in the end you have the product key, right? So for the attributes, it's like this thing is pre-built. I think it builds it pretty well. I'm not going to change it. So just click on process, run, and everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. So after we have built the 3 dimensions, all we do is we build a new cube. Right click on cube and then new cube. Next. Now it's asking you to select a measure group. We want the measure group to be affect internet sales, and we want the affect internet sales to be, I think I selected sales amount, affect internet sales count. Let me see. Product cost, maybe. I don't care about the other ones. So let's just say this one, and yeah, that's basically it. Select existing dimensions and new dimension. No, we don't want new dimension. No, the cube name is going to be cells, right? Just to make it easy. Process it, yes. And the process succeeded. And you should be good to go. Okay. So now if we log on to our analysis services, so in here I'll just disconnect just to show you what it's gonna be like. All right, file, connect to object, then connect to the analysis services, connect. You should be able to see a little example cube somewhere over here, right? Now you can do query, you can do MDX queries, or you can browse it. I think you can go to the cube and then browse it. Right, and to look at the hierarchies, I can just say, all right, I can look at the hierarchies over here. country, state, city, customer name. And for countries, I have those things. States, I have those things. Cities, I have cities. I because I prepended the city with a with the state, I have all those different cities. Okay. Of course, I can prepend it with a country. So it's basically the same thing. And then for date, I have year, okay, month, and date. Date is just another dimension or another hierarchy. For product, I have category, subcategory, and in the end, I have a English category name, English product name. Right? Last one is the product key. We don't care about it. So by now you should know how to build the cube for the homework. And that is all for today. So during lab 5, lab 4 and lab 5, lab 3, 4, 5, those 3 labs, I talked more on the MDX queries. So that's probably gonna be the project or the assignment for next time. Be prepared though. And the new assignment comes out on Sunday. All right. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.